Thanks for joining us on Arirang News. I'm Kim Dami in Seoul. A helicopter carrying Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi is still missing after suffering a hard landing in a northern region of the country. A Turkish drone has reportedly detected a heat source believed to be the wreckage of the helicopter. Medical school admissions plans reflecting the South Korean government's quota increase for the 2025 academic year will likely be finalized this week. The president's office says administrative measures against those doctors on walkout depend on a change in their actions. It's been 2 years since the former president's office, the Blue House, opened to the public. The place has fully been transformed to serve as a venue for citizens to enjoy art and music. Iranian rescuers have reportedly located the missing helicopter that was carrying President Ebrahim Raisi. A heat source suspected to be the wreckage has been also detected in northwestern Iran. Our Shin Se-byuk starts us off.
A heat source suspected to be the wreckage of the helicopter in which Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi was traveling has reportedly been found in northwestern Iran. Turkey's Anadolu news agency reported Monday that a Turkish drone searching in the area identified a heat source believed to be the helicopter's wreckage and shared the coordinates with Iranian authorities. On Sunday, a helicopter carrying the president, his foreign minister, and 7 others crashed due to bad weather. The detected heat source is located near the village of Tawil in Iran, approximately 30 kilometers from the Azerbaijani border. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps also confirmed that the heat source found by the Turkish drone could be the wreckage of the helicopter carrying President Raisi. Iranian authorities have dispatched a rescue team equipped with special tracking devices to the site to pinpoint the exact location of the crash. President Raisi had been in Azerbaijan for the opening of a dam with the country's President Ilham Aliyev. Both the U.S. and the EU are watching cautiously on the developments of the crash. U.S. President Joe Biden is said to have been briefed on the incident during his visit to the state of Georgia, with U.S. officials keeping close tabs on the story. European Council President Charles Michel also said he is watching for developments carefully, but did not elaborate further. Many countries with strained relations with Tehran have remained quiet on the matter. However, countries like Saudi Arabia and Turkey have expressed support for Iran, saying they are ready to provide any help required for search operations. Shin Se-byuk, Arirang News.
South Korea, Japan, and China are set to adopt a joint statement that would include tackling infectious diseases together and expanding economic cooperation ahead of the upcoming Trilateral summit in Seoul. According to the Japan's Times on Sunday, citing Japanese government officials, the joint statement will also include personnel exchanges, science and technology, sustainable development, public health, economic cooperation and trade, and peace and security. The South Korean government has yet to officially confirm the agenda, but watchers expect North Korea will be a key issue as well. This will be the first trilateral summit since 2019 before COVID-19 hit. The 3 countries have been in talks to finalize a date with May 26th and 7th as their goal. President Yoon Suk-yeol and British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak have called for global standards on artificial intelligence to ensure technological progress works for all. In a joint op-ed on Monday, the 2 leaders emphasized the need for a global governance of AI to regulate and mitigate risks while encouraging innovation, safety, and inclusivity so that the technology can reach its full potential to transform lives for the better. This comes a day before Yoon and Sunak co-host the AI Seoul Summit, a follow-up of the AI Safety Summit held in Bletchley Park last year, where 28 governments agreed to jointly limit the risks posed by AI. The Seoul Summit is expected to set out a vision for multilateral governance of the technology to help tackle global challenges such as poverty and climate change. World leaders will hold a virtual summit on Tuesday evening Seoul time, and a ministerial-level conference will take place offline on Wednesday. Taiwan has inaugurated Lai Ching-te as its new president, as the self-governed island faces a growing military and diplomatic pressure from China. Lai, who won the presidential election in January, officially takes over from Chang In-wen, marking the start of a historic third consecutive term for Taiwan's ruling Democratic Progressive Party. South Korea's ruling People Power Party member Jongmyo, who represents Seoul in the Parliamentary Friendship Association with Taiwan, attended the inauguration ceremony. And foreign dignitaries from countries including the U.S. and Japan also attended the event on Monday. Also on Monday, the government issued a call for trainee doctors who have been absent for 3 months to return to hospitals or risk of not qualifying for next year's specialist certification examinations. Our Song Yujin reports.
The ongoing medical dispute over the government's plan to increase South Korea's medical school quota is persisting, with the government urging trainee doctors who have been absent for 3 months to return to work on Monday to fulfill the training period requirements needed to qualify for next year's specialist certification examinations. At a Central Disaster and Safety Countermeasure headquarters meeting on Monday, Health Minister Cho Kyu-hong said that while individual circumstances may vary, trainee doctors who left their positions starting from February 19th must return by today, which marks 3 months of absence. However, the government added that it will be flexible for those who have extended leave or sick leave. And as they continue their efforts to convince trainee doctors to return to hospitals, the government also expressed hope that medical students would return to school. Meanwhile, the 2025 university admission plan, which reflects the increased number of medical school admissions, is expected to be finalized by this Friday, May 24th. As details including the selection ratio for regional talent recruitment and the ratios of regular and early admissions have not yet been made public, the finalization of the admission plan will likely prompt students to begin preparing for their exams. The Korean Council for University Education will hold a University Admissions Committee meeting this week to review and approve the 2025 University Admission Plan amendments submitted by universities nationwide. According to a council representative on Sunday, the committee needs to approve the plan this week to enable universities to announce their admission guidelines by the end of this month. Regarding the enforcement of administrative measures such as license suspensions, a presidential office spokesperson said Sunday that each case would be looked at on an individual basis, with administrative measures against the medical professionals who have left their workplace to depend on their behavioral shifts since they began their protest. The official added that the government is currently evaluating the timing, severity, and approach of these measures. Song Yujin, Arirang News.
July 14th will officially be designated as a North Korean Defectors Day here in South Korea. The Ministry of the Interior and Safety is set to enforce the designation on Tuesday. The South Korean government has been pushing to honor defectors from the North on July 14th since early this year. North Korean Defectors Day aims to better protect the rights and interests of defectors and raise awareness of unification through events held on the day. This is South Korea's first day of celebration dedicated to defectors from the North. South Korea's former presidential office, known as the Blue House, is celebrating the second anniversary since its opening to public with special events this May. Our An Sung-jin headed over there and checked it out.
Back to the people. South Korea's Blue House, also known as Cheongwade, is marking 2 years since it first opened its doors to the public on May 10, 2022. After President Yoon Suk-yeol moved the presidential office to Yongsan-gu district, the previous office located in Jongmyo district has been holding a range of events. As well as tours inside, a series of art, music, and media performances are taking place which will continue throughout the summer. Special exhibitions will be on display such as Handshakes for Freedom, which shows records of diplomatic efforts, and Children Drawing Hope, an exhibition of Ukrainian children's art. And there will be classical music, jazz, and K-pop concerts.
Among the various events that are taking place at the Blue House, this traditional performance festival offers a wide range of Korean folk music and dance performances.
Samulnori, traditional music with 4 percussion instruments, was performed on the stage. The showcase, a collaboration between 4 universities, uses the themes of joy, pleasure, sorrow, and anger to show the lives of people in the past. Another concert blends Korean folk music and jazz, and visitors could also enjoy a traditional Haohe mask performance, which is a satire on the lives of people during the Joseon dynasty. A culture expert said that such events can help bring the Blue House and the people closer.
Opening this area as a cultural complex space like this allows more communication with the people, but above all, how it's used is the most important. A historical museum that displays historical records of the Blue House can make it even more future-oriented.
The Culture Ministry and Blue House Foundation aim to brand the Blue House as a culture and art space that can be enjoyed by citizens, and such events will further help create that identity. An Sung-jin, Arirang News.
The Korea Heritage Service has been rebranded from the Cultural Heritage Administration, upgrading the concept of cultural heritage to national heritage. And to celebrate the new launch, a special exhibit has opened at Jongmyo Shrine. Our Lee Si-hu takes us there.
Over 20,000 pieces of Lego come together to create a special build, the layout of the Jongmyo royal ancestral ritual. In this 21st century representation of one of the most significant state ceremonies from the Joseon dynasty by artist Colin Jin, hundreds of officiants, musicians, and dancers, presided by the king, perform a special ritual to honor the royal ancestors. The work is on display at a special exhibit at the Jongmyo Shrine located in central Seoul.
Starting today, the Cultural Heritage Administration has been transformed into the Korea Heritage Service. To celebrate its launch, we have prepared an exhibition hall where visitors can learn about traditional Jongmyo rituals and music, which are both recognized as world heritages, both tangible and intangible.
Jongmyo is where the kings of the Joseon dynasty performed sacrificial rites and enshrined the royal ancestral tablets of deceased kings and queens. They believed the spirits of the ancestors would enter and leave the tablets, blessing the descendants performing the rituals. Both the shrine and the rituals performed at the site are recognized as cultural heritages by the South Korean government and UNESCO. And now, for the first time ever, visitors can take a step into the pilotis-like building called Mangmyoru that housed the management office of the shrine back in history. From here, the kings of Joseon would wait, thinking of their ancestors until the Jongmyo ritual began. During the wait, they often wrote poetry in peace. From the king's seat, a magnificent view of the pond landscape to represent the land and the sky.
And it's really beautiful to see. I just entered the ritual, how they did the ritual. So it's very I learned quite a lot, and I feel that the Korean culture is very beautiful, and I feel that the history is just really amazing.
Mangmyoru will remain open to the public until the end of June, offering a peek into the royal history dating back over 600 years. Lee Si-hu, Arirang News.
Now to a beauty contest like no other. The Chunhyang Traditional Beauty Pageant judges contestants on the traditional Korean values found in the story of Chunhyang. But this year, it's also opened the door to international contestants. Our Eun-hee tells us more.
Every year, Namwon City in Jeonbuk State hosts the Chunhyang Traditional Beauty Pageant, and the 94th Miss Chunhyang was selected this year. The pageant is inspired by the beautiful love story of Chunhyangjeon, or the tale of Chunhyang, one of the country's most cherished folk tales, which started here in Gwangalloan Garden in Namwon.
Chunhyang and Mongmyo's love first blossomed here in Gwangalloan Garden.
The South Korean Romeo and Juliet with a happy ending, Chunhyangjeon, has since been made into more than 100 versions, but the classic love story of Chunhyang and Mongmyo never changes.
And it all started here when Lee Mong-yong fell in love at first sight when he saw Chunhyang on the swing.
So what is the beauty of Chunhyang that is still celebrated today? The contestants try to show qualities encapsulated in the term Chunhyangdaung in Korean, which demonstrates a blend of physical beauty, cultural understanding, intelligence, and moral integrity. The National Chunhyang Contest made a significant shift from this year, transforming into a global Chunhyang beauty pageant, opening the door for non-Korean citizens. This year, 5 of the 32 finalists flew into Korea from China, Japan, Indonesia, Vietnam, and North America, and 2 of those finalists were non-Korean citizens.
The Korean wave, or Hallyu, holds considerable influence worldwide. So we thought, instead of sticking to tradition, why not create an event where young people from across the globe can all join?
The evaluation is relatively rigorous, taking into account demeanor and manners that reflect Korea's traditional values. Participants wear the traditional Korean clothing called hanbok during the contest, demonstrating traditional Korean beauty.
First of all, it is a fantastic experience for me to see the many contestants from all over the world. So it is important for me to see the people who understand Korean culture and language. And
to accommodate international participants, a new Global Muse Award is introduced, in addition to the existing Chunhyang titles of Jin, Son, Mi, Chong, Suk, and Hyun. For 10 days, all the finalists stayed together to practice for the contest, covering a range of talents from self-introductions to showcasing their dance skills.
I've never learned how to dance before, so it was a completely new experience, and that in itself was really challenging, but it's been a really enjoyable time.
Following the multiple rounds of evaluation, the ultimate decision is made during the final stage of assessment. Participants give their best on stage for the crown of Jin, which represents the highest honor among the 6 titles of Chunhyang.
19번 김정윤!
The title of Jin was claimed by Kim Jong-un, who is a student at Ewha Women's University.
First of all, I'm deeply honored to be chosen as the very first global Miss Chunhyang. Additionally, I was selected as Jin, wearing the heaviest crown, and I will take on the responsibility to widely promote the beauty of Namwon.
And the Global Muse Award went to Michelle Sebom-woo from the United States and Oh Sua, an overseas Korean from Indonesia.
I feel like now that the Chunhyang Festival has become a global event, it really indicates how much Korean culture is spreading, and I'm so incredibly honored to become a part of that.
I have learned so much things from here, so much things about Korean culture, about Namwon, about Chunhyang.
This year's winners will also serve as Namwon City's ambassadors for the next 3 years, taking the lead in promoting local culture, festivals, and the advance of Chunhyang values on a global scale.
The pageant is not just a celebration of beauty, but also a tribute to the timeless tale of Chunhyang's love and resilience. May the spirit of Chunhyang's enduring love continue to inspire us. 이은희, Arirang News, Namwon.
Tottenham Hotspur captain Heung-min ended his 2023-2024 English Premier League campaign with another season of double figures for goals and assists. The South Korean international's 10th assist of the season came as his side beat Sheffield United 3-0 on Sunday, marking the 3rd time Sonny's had at least 10 goals and 10 assists in a single Premier League season. Son, who found the net 17 times, also became just the 6th player in EPL history to record at least 10 goals and 10 assists in at least 3 seasons. Tottenham finished 5th in the league, meaning they'll play in the Europa League next season.
Let's take a look at the latest news in the world now. We begin today in Hungary, where a collision on Saturday between a small motorboat and a cruise ship on the Danube River has led to at least 2 deaths and 5 missing. A statement by the Budapest police said on Sunday that disaster response units are searching the entire Hungarian stretch of the river. The spokesperson for the Budapest police said that 8 adults were aboard the small motorboat at the time of the collision. The incident was initially reported on late Saturday evening after a man was found with a bleeding head wound about 50 kilometers north of Budapest. Bodies of a male and a female were later found nearby, while police are still searching for the remaining 5 adults believed to have been on the motorboat. No casualties have been reported on the cruise ship. This comes 5 years after at least 27 people, the majority South Korean tourists, were killed in a collision between a river cruise ship and a smaller tourist boat. In Afghanistan, flash floods on Saturday night have killed at least 50 people in the northern part of the country. The head of the information department for Afghanistan's northern Faryab province said on Sunday that at least 300 houses were destroyed in the latest floods. This comes after floods the day before in the country's central Gov't province led to at least 50 deaths, with officials there saying on Saturday that the floods had also killed thousands of livestock and destroyed some 2,000 homes. Last week, exceptionally heavy rains in Afghanistan's Baghlan region killed at least 315. Afghanistan is prone to natural disasters, but it has been receiving limited foreign aid since the Taliban's takeover in 2021. SpaceX CEO Elon Musk arrived on Indonesia's Bali island on Sunday for the launch of his company's Starlink internet services. This makes Indonesia the third Southeast Asian country where Starlink will operate, following Malaysia and the Philippines. The billionaire CEO of Tesla and SpaceX arrived in a private jet and was greeted in Bali by Indonesia's coordinating Minister of Maritime and Investment, Luhut Binsar Panjaitan, before attending the Starlink launch ceremony at the Community Health Center in Denpasar with Health Minister Budi Gunadi Sadikin. Starlink's satellite internet service will now cover the archipelago nation of 17,000 islands, home to some 270 million people. America's first black astronaut candidate, who was denied the chance to become the first African American in space 6 decades ago, finally made it into space on Sunday aboard a Blue Origin New Shepard capsule. Ed Dwight, a 90-year-old artist and former Air Force test pilot, blasted off from the West Texas launch site with 5 other crew members, a software engineer, an Indian adventurer, a French entrepreneur, a venture capitalist, and a retired accountant. Dwight also became the oldest person ever to reach space at 90 and 8 months old, beating the previous record set by Star Trek actor William Shatner. While a ticket on billionaire Jeff Bezos' New Shepard spaceflight costs about $500,000, Dwight's seat was sponsored by a non-profit organization, Space for Humanity. Sunday's launch was Blue Origin's first passenger flight since a rocket crash around 2 years ago. Kim Seong, Arirang News.
Good afternoon. The sunny and hot summer-like weather triggered the highest temperatures of the season so far in some of the southern provinces on Sunday. There will be more heat rolling into the southern regions under plenty of sunshine, but it should not be as hot as Sunday. Further south, we'll get stronger UV rays, so sun safety awareness is a must. Meanwhile, there should be cloudy skies hanging around in the upper regions with a chance of spotty rain during the day today. It's Soman today, the second summer season term, and we can tell the morning has gotten much warmer compared to last week. But due to cloudy skies in the upper regions, temperatures will not rise that much, topping out at just 23 degrees here in Seoul, nearly 5 degrees lower than yesterday. Meanwhile, Daegu and Gyeongju see a high of 30 degrees this afternoon. Sunny and warm weather returns tomorrow to the upper regions, and it should stay that way throughout the week. With that in mind, let's take a look at the international weather conditions.
That's all we have at this hour. Arirang News will be back at 2 p.m. Korea time. Thanks for watching.